Alright, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, from the scopes once again. It's Captain Nabs here with you, and we're just getting ready for some ATC in Toronto. It's a pretty busy evening. It's a pretty good staff right now, so what we've done is we picked up Hamilton Tower here because we got an inbound to Hamilton, so just to help provide a little bit of variety of ATC without stealing too much traffic from anybody else. So yeah, we're going to see one arrival here. Hopefully, if we're here for a little while, it should turn into more than just one person. But anyways, just give me 1 second. I've just got to configure my audio output here. And I realized I thought I had done it, but I had not done it correctly. I just realized, so I'm just trying to do it here. And for some reason, let's just check that here. There. Now I can hear that as well. Sorry, guys. But I wasn't getting that audio properly, so now I've got it. So now we should have, there we go, Hamilton Tower up and running. And we'll also get an ATC going here as well. So what's the, we somehow, just our internet just disappeared for a moment there. Just long enough to disconnect us from the network just when we're trying to get organized. Always the way. What's going on? I've never had so many problems staying connected to this internet here. All of a sudden, I don't know what's going on here. Alright, guys. Sorry about that. I seem to be having a little bit of weird internet connection issue here, which I've never seemed to have before, so I don't know what's going on with that. But we're going to try and get this to work for us here. Because it's a little bit odd. Don't know what's going on with my network here, but that's everything got disconnected for a second and then reconnected. Just a little odd. I don't know what's going on with that. And yeah, I'm gonna have to pull up my weather somewhere else because again, the network's being a real pill to me tonight. It doesn't want to seem to do anything here. So Hamilton 02. So let's get, we don't have the Hamilton weather up for some reason, but for some reason it's not retrieving METARs properly here, so I can't put up an ATC. Very strange. Hopefully it'll, Lucas, nice to see you. I hope you had fun this morning. Sorry, yeah, my internet seems to be giving me an issue right now, and it's normally rock solid, but you know, 3 times in 3 minutes it dropped its connection. It looks like it's kind of solid now, so that's kind of a good thing, but yeah, I don't know what was going on there. And it's also giving me a little bit of issue here with trying to get METARs out of the network here. Doesn't seem to want to get me METARs, so anyways. reason it just doesn't want to load that. And I don't know why. So anyways, so we got 06 and 12 the active, so I'm just going to quickly put up the approaches here as well, just to look at. So they should be here. There we go. So there's the approaches to 06 and 12. 06 being the active runway, but 12 is probably going to be the preferred arrival for jets and everybody else. So we got one airplane here, cargo jet, 8555 is inbound. And right now that's it. I'm just sort of picking up the pieces because it's, like I said, it's kind of fully staffed right now. But if the staffing falls down a little bit here, then we'll step into whatever position needs to be filled. And in the meantime, yeah, at least we're doing something. We're giving somebody else a little bit of service here. I could do that if you want a little bit. I'll just handle this Hamilton arrival first. So he's getting vectored around by the center controller anyways. Oh, and then just in the time even that we were logged on here, we've already got a departure out here. Is that you, Lucas? That's you. Of course it is. Well, thank you for coming on there. I appreciate that. At least get us a little bit of activity here in Hamilton, and we may end up taking a center position anyways here. The center controller, I think, is starting to get a little bit overworked with just a lot of sort of different stuff happening in a lot of different directions. Not terribly overworked, but we may even end up splitting the center a little bit. So we'll see what happens. I can't seem to. Oh, there it is. Now the ATIS is finally going to start working. I couldn't get the ATIS to work in Hamilton because the weather wasn't popping up for some reason. I don't know why it wasn't popping up, but it seems to have figured itself out now. There we go. Yeah, it was being a little bit of a bear. I don't know why. But that's okay. We will get through it. But I'm one of those people that likes to do whatever I can as a controller to sort of provide the most amount of service to various people. So sometimes I'll pick the positions that are not particularly interesting just to sort of help extend. Yeah, so that's my personal opinion. Is I try to, especially when things are fully staffed, I don't like to try and cut on other people's fun too much, but I like to try and provide enough positions that, we can realistically simulate as much ATC as possible. So even just to take a small satellite airport for a period of time, it doesn't make for a very interesting stream. That's my only trouble. It does not make for an interesting stream. But I do like to try and provide as much service as possible. So that's why I chose Hamilton Tower. I saw somebody coming in there, and Lucas, now you're logged in there as a departure, which is great. Grab yourself a flight plan whenever you get a chance. Looks like right now you're filed Boston to Montreal. So, but I appreciate you doing that. Get some service from the other end of the scope, and just get people more familiar with these other more satellite airports. There's one thing about Toronto as an FIR is most of the satellite airports don't get a lot of love. Pearson really gets all the focus, and places like Hamilton get nothing. So it's nice to see other places get a little bit of attention as well. Got one guy inbound to London in a Cherokee. There were lots of airplanes on the ground in Toronto. It looks like they're launching the departures pretty fast and furious now, but looks like a pretty good event, and it's really quite well staffed up. It's basically I don't even know quite the principle behind it, but essentially it's a huge chunk of airspace. The whole like northeast U.S. and eastern Canada is staffed. So in Canada, Toronto, Montreal, Moncton, and in the U.S., Boston, New York, Washington, Cleveland, Indianapolis, and Atlanta, with lots of terminals, Tracons, also staffed, lots of towers open, and just tons of like random traffic in random directions. So it's really kind of a good mix of traffic, which is kind of nice. Sometimes you get these events and they're very focused in one direction or one specific thing, and it's not particularly realistic. It's kind of fun because you get like uh, you get a lot of traffic going in one particular direction. You get to kind of be part of a big wagon train, but at the end of the day, it's not terribly realistic. What's more realistic is something more like this, where you have a random assortment of aircraft moving in multiple different directions. So I kind of like these ones, but these events a little bit more that have at least 2 or 3 kind of sectors open, and there's lots of sort of random movements in one particular in multiple directions. That's much more realistic than just one flow of traffic in one direction only. Hopefully all of our stuff is working here, because I haven't even done a radio check because I haven't had anybody to talk to yet. But here comes our one guy on final here, cargo jet.
Hamilton Tower, cargo jet 8555, ILS 12.
Cargo jet 8555, Hamilton Tower, good evening. Winds in Hamilton are showing 030 at 5. The altimeter is 3019er. Information is Quebec, and you're clear to land, runway 12.
019, clear to land, runway 12, cargo jet 8555.
I don't really need the Oshawa weather. I just brought it up just to see what it was doing there. Just to see if I could, because it was just not being cooperative for me for some reason. I believe it's a 5-mile radius control zone. No, it is a 7-mile radius, so he's about a 10-mile final right now. Nobody taxiing out. I can clear him to land. Not a whole lot happening at this moment, so Okay, he's on short final there. Still no flight plan from you, Lucas. Nothing that the system recognizes anyways yet, because you're filed from Boston through to Montreal, so my system does not pick up on it as being a valid flight plan for you yet. Also partly because you're so far off course. Okay. Anyways, he's going to pop up on there any second now. I think he's hidden behind my strips there. See where he rolls to. Still rolling at 142 knots there. He's going to have to really kind of put the brakes on. Cargo Jet 8555, welcome to Hamilton. You can backtrack runway 12, backtrack runway 06, Charlie to the apron.
Backtrack runway 12, backtrack 06, Charlie to the apron, Cargo Jet 8555.
All right. Oh, there we go. Got a flight plan file from you. For some reason, it's not showing up in my list, but that's probably because of something that's not configured properly here. So give me 1 second while I figure out why that is. Not that. Very strange. Why is it not showing you? Oh, it's not showing you in the list. It should. St. Catharines, TSUC, T781, Ticket, Miglo, and the AB 6. I was going to say, do you need a ground controller? Okay. Well, I'll stick to Hamilton Tower for a few minutes here anyways. I have one departure, so I'll get him away first, then I'll see where I'm needed most. Yeah, anyways, that's the flight plan. Of course, 320. Can't assign you a SID because for some reason just not showing up on the departure list. I don't know why. Something's going on with this. Not sure what's going on with it. Because it should be showing me all departures for Hamilton. Strange. I don't know why it's not working. But anyways, I'll be able to power through it anyways. Strange that it's not working. Where's dispatch? Yeesh. Yeah. Yeah, I guess when it's a self-dispatch system, things take a little longer sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, when there's no flight plan ready, all I do is I just call and say, what the hell? Why do I have a flight plan? Honest to God, I'm going to shoot somebody. No, I'm just joking. I would never say that. But I do just ask, like, why is it not ready? Where do I get my flight plan from? Please give me a flight plan.
Hamilton Tower, good evening. Air Canada 1013, ready to copy IFR to Montreal. Information, Quebec.
Air Canada 1013, Hamilton Tower, good evening. Runway 06 is active this evening. Did you want 06 or would you prefer runway 12?
If you're going to give me 12, I'll take it, but we can do 6 bucks. I don't think there's much traffic around. So let's do 12 and I can do a regular ticket.
Okay, Air Canada 1013, not a problem. You're cleared to Montreal via the Hamilton 9er departure, radar vector St. Catharines, and your flight plan route. Departure runway 12, squawk code 4157.
So clear to Montreal runway 12 via the Hamilton 9 departure. Is that what you said? Sorry, I missed it. Squawk 4157 at Hamilton.
Air Canada 1013, that is correct. The Hamilton 9er departure.
Roger. 4157
Air Canada 1013, the readback is all correct. Information Quebec is the current ATIS pushback. Start up at your discretion. Call me when ready for taxi.
Push start my discretion. We'll go for taxi. Air Canada 1013. And we have Quebec.
Thank you. Okay, so we got some traffic here, but we'll pick up something else before too long. We'll either assist with ground in Toronto, or we'll take a part of Centre, because it's getting quite busy both places. So Centre's kind of, it really is not that busy. All the traffic is in and out of Toronto, and most of it is these arrivals from the south, which is a very short stay with Centre. So I probably would do better almost to work with Tower, or work as ground at Toronto, because the Tower is doing everything right there. It's doing delivery, ground, and Tower. So I might log in there next. We'll see what the I'm not usually a person who likes to bounce around, but like I said, I like to also provide service to as many people as possible. So I always viewed this Hamilton Tower login as a sort of a temporary measure. I didn't think it was going to be a permanent. It wasn't going to be I was going to spend 3 hours this evening. Although you never know. If it gets busy, then maybe I will. Interesting news out of the States too now. American has joined Southwest in suspending all alcohol service on their flights lately in the last few days. For some reason, and I don't know what it is, but there's been a bit of an epidemic in the U.S. That in the last few months, last year or so even, ever since really the whole pandemic started, for some reason people on airlines are just going absolutely insane. And the number of unruly passengers has reached record levels lately. It's really quite something. So it's really quite shocking, and to the point where now, like, the airlines have decided to suspend alcohol service to all their passengers because too many people are becoming intoxicated and assaulting their crew, their employees. It's ridiculous that it's ever come to this level. Really, I mean, I'm sorry, but it blows my mind. Like, I don't understand. First of all, I don't understand that mentality of what gives you the right to take out aggression on an employee, or I mean, really shouldn't be drinking that much on an airplane if you have that much of a problem to begin with. But then I don't understand how this pandemic has seemingly created an epidemic of it. It seems very odd with less people flying. You'd think there'd be less incidents of air rage, but for some reason, everyone is just, I guess everyone's just wound up so tight. The amount of stress in people's lives is just through the roof these days. So, yeah, like I said, it's something that it sort of surprises and shocks me a little bit, just because I wouldn't expect that. I wouldn't expect there to be that many people really. I would expect people to be mostly just happy to travel, but really, I guess people are just wound up so tight. Anyways, I don't know. It's unfortunate that it's gotten to that point where they've had to suspend service, alcohol service to all passengers, because the number of unruly passengers has just been going up. It's just, yeah, I don't understand sometimes. I don't understand. Sometimes I just don't understand people. I just don't understand, especially when it comes to the aviation industry, just the entitlement people have when they get in an airplane. Yeah, you think we should go and help Tower? Lucas, would you be offended if we hopped over? How long do you need, Lucas, before you're ready there? Because I feel like he said he was doing okay. He's got quite a lot of departures, but quite a few arrivals, and it's just a steady stream of traffic, but I feel like he probably could use a little bit of help. We can always listen in.
24 reback correct. Call me ready for push and start. ATIS information hotel is correct.
Come hotel, call Pressure Canada 70. American 709, request taxi.
American 709, runway 06 left, altimeter 3020, taxi via Alpha Lima, Bravo, Delta, cross runway CC right, hold short, runway 06 left.
06 left via Alpha Lima, Bravo, Delta, cross 33 right, American 709.
Pushing now? Okay.
Taxiway
That's fine. If you're pushing now, then I'll stick around for your departure here for sure, and then we'll go hop probably over to.
And wish at 557 Roger, taxi to Terminal 3 via Romeo, Bravo, Alpha, Juliet, cross runway 15 left.
Roger, crossing 15
I see that. I see you're pushing now, so okay, cool.
Romeo, Bravo, Alpha, Juliet.
I'm not trying to hurry you.
Yeah,
I just, it seems like you're probably right. Patrick's probably right. Probably could use a little bit of the assistance there. So.
Taxi via Delta 3, hold short runway.
Yeah, and that's the case that we're talking about here. Patrick is Southwest as a result. Yes, this passenger was verbally abusive and actually became physically abusive after landing. They've been served some alcohol on a Southwest flight. They became verbally abusive and then they became physically abusive. They did. They hit the flight attendant and they knocked out 2 of her teeth. It was a woman, knocked out 2 of her teeth,
wind variable at 2 knots, clear
and the woman's been banned from Southwest forever. But this is not an isolated incident. There's been a disturbing trend. The FAA has noticed this. The FAA has stepped up and said there's a very disturbing trend of greatly increased reports of violence against cabin crew in the U.S. on all manner of flights. So. Southwest has decided as a permanent measure now. Well, not a permanent measure. As a temporary permanent measure for the time being, until further notice, there will be no alcohol served on any Southwest flights because of this increase in violence that's been experienced lately. So it's a bit unfortunate, but I support Southwest on that decision. I think it's a wise decision. There you go. I see the transponder now.
And did you get that for Atlanta 165?
Yeah, Pine Star 166. I got your clearance advised, ready to copy.
Alright, copy 166.
Pine Star 166, you're cleared to Nantucket via.
Well, the one inbound to London landed there. Still more people logging in to depart Toronto, so it's not the event's not dying down yet, which is good. We're going to be here till midnight, till 4 Zulu, so lots of time. But yeah, we'll get out of Hamilton Tower, and I think we'll get on Toronto ground because the tower controller left. The ground controller went up to tower, but I think the workload looks like it's pretty ambitious for one guy, so we're going to go give him a hand in just a few minutes here. I think he's doing okay with it though. On Air New Zealand, you don't serve alcohol at all. It'd be either hot drink or fizzy, or hot drink, water, or fizzy. Yeah, you know, and through the pandemic, that's been the case. A lot of the airlines cut a lot of service, and they basically went to, here's a water bottle. That's your service for the flight. There's nothing wrong with having a drink on an airplane. Some people just, you know, it helps relax a little bit, but unfortunately, it's just there's too many people that take it too far. You know, for me, it's not a problem. I'm a bit of I get happier if I've had a drink or so. So I'm not the kind of person that gets violent at all. But some people are, I guess. So that's where we're at now. So Southwest and American have both banned alcohol on flights for the foreseeable future until something changes, because there are just too many incidents. Too many incidents happening here. So. Come on, pushback crew. You're good. Didn't turn off my own frequency, did I? No, I didn't. Okay. It's a little scary though. People just coming to work trying to do their job and getting assaulted like this. It just. I'm glad that they banned that passenger.
Tower, Canada 1013, ready to taxi runway 12, information Quebec.
Air Canada 1013, information is Quebec, the altimeter 3019 at runway 12. Taxi through the apron, Charlie, Golf, cross runway 06 and hold short of 12.
Right, runway 12 via the apron, Charlie, Golf, cross runway 06, hold runway 12, Air Canada 1013.
Gotcha. All right. What's ironic probably is that Toronto is busier right now, probably in the real world, or in VATSIM, than it is in the real world by a long shot. What day is it today? The 30th. No TAM's expired. Yeah, there's a bunch of runways closed. You guys know that 6 left is closed until July, right? Okay. It's your one chance to say clear to land 06 right. Yeah, there's a lot of kind of closures and things right now that are kind of making it a little bit complicated to operate in Toronto. Because it's construction season. curious to see what's going on here in Toronto. There is a lot of planes lined up for departure there. So now there's a ground controller over in Toronto, so now we don't need to worry so much about logging in there. Lost our chance to log in while we were sitting here. So we'll have to just, we'll find something else. We're not going to stay in Hamilton if there's no traffic inbound whatsoever. We'll find something else to do. So whether it's collaborate with Center or do something else, work a different airport. Maybe even take over delivery if there's a lot of outbounds there. I feel like the traffic is not being well managed though in Toronto because there's a whole bunch of planes waiting for departure, and then there's nobody arriving on the other runway. And this is the perfect case where everyone should be kind of switching runways here. Then there shouldn't be a huge lineup for departures like this. This is, it's not that huge. I guess it's about 3 or 4, but there even shouldn't be that many in the bay. There should be. Go ahead. Sure. Let me just get this one guy. Actually, while I have you, request release off 1-2 of, let's see, Air Canada 1013. Thank you. We'll get him off the ground, then we'll switch. Nah, you tell me. Oh, Lord. I don't know if I can do that. Alright, so we got just adjust this a little bit here. Alright, almost there. Alright. Air Canada 1013, contact Toronto Centre 125.77 in the air. Backtrack as much as you want on runway 12 is approved. Winds 030 at 5, clear for takeoff, runway 12.
Alright, backtrack on runway 12 at pilot's discretion, clear for takeoff, runway 12, contact center on when airborne, Air Canada 1013. Thanks for your service and good luck over on the ground.
Air Canada 1013, thank you. Have a good night. I'm gonna stay on.
Have a great night, Rob. See you later.
I'm still going to stay on just for a minute, watch him get airborne, make sure he's all good. And then we'll yeah, it looks like the backlog's slowly getting cleared out here anyways. Alright. Not doing the full 10,000 feet in the Airbus. It's one of those things too. You just the way most performance data is calculated for most airplanes, at least at the airline level, is usually it's calculated based on specific measured intersections with a very specific defined distance. And so a lot of airlines, the only two options you would have at a place like Hamilton would be either depart from Gulf or depart from the threshold. And there'd be nothing in between, because all it normally does, like with most of the performance calculators that are out there, they're usually based on a specific intersection. So you could put in runway 12, or you can put in runway 12 from Golf, or 12 even from Charlie, probably, if it exists. But you wouldn't be able to do like something like it from just sort of a middle random distance, because the takeoff calculator would not recognize that distance. The takeoff calculators are only set up for very specific points for all these specific intersections. So unless someone had gone and defined a very specific intersection halfway down this runway, there'd be no other intersections. So it's a bit of a shortcoming with the system, because yeah, when you have a long runway like this, you may not be able to depart from Golf, and you may have to take the full length of 12. Can you take it from somewhere halfway down? Probably, but the performance calculator will only work for this location and this location. So if this location doesn't work and there's not sufficient performance from here, you got to go from here. And I've run into that stupidity once before. For anyone that's ever been to Newark, the normal departure point for Newark is not the threshold of the runway if you're doing the 22s. 22 right's normal departure point is from intersection Whiskey, which is about 3 taxiway intersections short of the full length. And so but there's, it's a marked intersection, obviously, with a taxiway, so everyone calculates that takeoff distance because everyone knows it's normal takeoff distance, but the dispatchers don't. The dispatchers just normally define full length on this runway. So the one day we couldn't actually get the updated performance distance for the actual conditions that day. The system was not working. There was a problem with the computer system. It was not working. We ended up having to get we ended up not being able to get performance data from that intersection, from intersection Whiskey. We had to take full length, even though we're in a little regional jet. And there was an 87 behind us that took the intersection departure from Whiskey, but legally can't do it, because if you don't have those numbers, anything goes wrong. They're going to say, well, how do you know you could do it? You could take off legally. So you have to have these things all figured out, calculated from a legal perspective. All right, the traffic is airborne. Shouldn't be a problem anymore. So we are going to go ahead and close down this Hamilton Tower here. And we're going to probably switch ourselves up to center here. So the center controller said he wanted to brake, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to shut this window. This one has to go back like this, but we don't need it anyways. And then we have access to a whole lot of airplanes.
Russian 4134, Toronto, good day, flight level 300.
All right. Okay. I think I'm ready for a briefing here.
Alpha Delta Delta, contact terminal 132.8. Good day.
32.8. Thank you very much for have a great day. Charge Alpha.
Toronto Center, Pacific 6691 is with you, currently at 16,000.
Pacific 6691, Toronto, good day, climb 310.
Climb 50310, Pacific 6691.
Bear with me just a second, guys. We're just doing the handoff here. We'll be right back. Okay, guys, so now we have control of Toronto Center here, so now we got to do some stuff here. We just took a handoff. Encore 3606, contact Cleveland Center now on 134.9er.
34.9, Encore 36069.
Good night. And handoff Transat here as well. Okay, didn't like the handoff for Transat for some reason. It's okay, we'll see if we can get a hold of this guy here. And what else we got here? And then Air Canada 1013 here. He's going to turn direct TSUC here. Air Canada 1013, continue climb flight level 330.
Continue climb flight level 330, Air Canada 1013. Transat 497, we look for descent shortly.
Sorry, who was looking to start descent?
Transat 497.
Transat 497 standby, just waiting for a handoff to Montreal.
Roger.
Transat 497, contact Montreal Center now, 128.77. Good night.
2877, Transat 497, we'll see that.
Toronto Center, Challenger 723, Romeo Mike, checking in flight level 410.
Alright, Challenger, sorry, what was the call sign?
This was Challenger 723, Romeo Mike.
Challenger, November 723, Romeo Mike, Toronto Center, good evening. Squawk code 0535.
0535. 535 for November 723 Romeo Mike. Honk Center, good evening, Westjet 125, climbing to flight level 230.
WestJet 125 Toronto Center, good evening. Continue climb 230.
Continue climb 230, Westjet 125.
Toronto Center, hello, Blue Streak 698, 198 for 17,000 distant.
Blue Streak 698 Toronto Center, good evening. Continue descent 1000. Toronto altimeter is 3020. Information is hotel, runway 6 left.
Continue descent 11,000, 406 left, we got the altimeter at Blue Streak 698, thanks.
Well, lots of handoffs going on here. November 723 Romeo Mike, Toronto Center, thank you. You're identified flight level 410, welcome. Air Canada 1013, proceed direct Beaumet.
Proceed direct Beaumet, Air Canada 1013.
Toronto Center, hello. Air Canada 784 with you, 190 for 170.
Air Canada 784 Toronto Center, good evening. Continue descent 11,000. The Toronto altimeter 3020. Information is hotel, plan 06 left.
We've got hotel on board, and we'll plan 6 left, and we'll continue our descent down to 11,000 for Air Canada 784.
WestJet 125, contact Cleveland Center now, 134.9er, good night.
Okay, 134.9er, Westjet 125, good day.
Alright, so we got plenty of in-trail space in there. Those guys are looking okay. That guy's looking good. And I'm getting people messaging me as well. Okay, perfect. Alright, so we got lots of stuff going on here. We got lots of lists open here, but it's not too bad. Lots of departures out of Toronto that we got to keep an eye on here. And something's not quite right with this, but that's okay. We'll set this up correctly here. So it looks like it's not recognizing the handoff correctly for Toronto arrival, so I got to do it manually here. Probably doing the same thing for Canada 10, 784 here. Yeah, wrong. For some reason it wants to go straight to tower.
Toronto Center, Caravan 680 Papa is 2,600 for 7,000.
Caravan 680 Papa, you should be with departure on 128.8.
Okay, I just got the handoff, but I'll go back over there, 680 Papa.
And Blue Streak 698, contact Toronto arrival now, 132.8.
32.8 for Blue Streak 698. Thanks for the help. Have a good night.
Good night. What's 166 Platinum?
Center American 709, 15,000.
American 709, Toronto Center, good evening. Continue climb, flight level 230.
230, American 709.
Platinum 166, are you here? I think departure handed off the wrong person to me. I think he meant to hand off Platinum and he handed off the 680 Papa. And then we lost the American reg there. Let's see here. West high level is going to be 48. perfect. They got the right handoffs here and everything. North Shuttle 513, contact Cleveland Center now on 119.87. Good night. So many different frequencies here for Cleveland. We've got 3 Cleveland controllers online tonight, which is good. It's busy. And he was text only, so he responded. Thank you. 19.8. And North Shuttle 513, it's actually 1987, 119.87. Hopefully he got that before he switched. North Shuttle 1987, you got it. Good night. Nope, that's not right. I thought I switched that, but that. There we go. Platinum 166, are you here? Air Canada 784, contact arrival 132.8. Good night.
Is that 123.8 for Air Canada 784?
Air Canada 784, 132.8.
132.8 for Air Canada 784. Have a great day.
Departure from center.
724, 19.8, climb up level 230.
Did you ever hand off Pullman 166? I got him tagged up, but he never called me. PXX 166. Air Canada 724, Toronto, good evening. Can you try my frequency?
Caravan 680,
He hasn't called me yet.
7000 for 1000.
Caravan 680 Papa, thanks. This time you're supposed to be with me. I think the handoffs got confused before. Continue the climb for 1000 for now.
That's the 1000, 680 Papa.
Platinum 166, are you with Toronto?
Just switched over, level 220.
Platinum 166, Toronto Center, thank you. Climb flight level 230.
230, Platinum 166.
Got to make sure all these people are going to the right frequency here. So this is, I don't think he's going to the right one. Now we've switched Cleveland centers. Okay, I'm just going to try something here then, because they switched and they didn't say who they were switching to. American 709, contact Cleveland Center 134.12 for higher. Good night.
13412, American 709.
Air Canada 1013, proceed direct, MIG-low.
Proceed direct, MIG-low, Air Canada 1013.
This guy is going up to, what's 680 Papa going to here as a flight plan final here. He's going to 190. November 68 Sierra Papa, continue climb flight level 190.
I maintain flight level 190, 680 Papa.
Platinum 166, contact Cleveland Center now 134.9. Good day.
34.9, next W.
Air Canada 724, contact Cleveland Center 134.9. Good day.
1349, Air Canada 749, good day.
This guy's going direct to Phillipsburg. Okay, he's going MIG-low. Perfect. Okay, so got lots of stuff going on here, but I think it's all good now. Just busy. That's really the key. It's just busy, so there's tons of stuff to sort of keep an eye on here. There's not much happening up north. It's all sort of south. And this is the thing about Toronto FIRs. Mostly it's a very south-focused FIR. It's really focused on this area between... And Lucas, no, I didn't mean to ping you the squawk. I was trying to change your squawk code back. It accidentally changed, so I was trying to change it back. And then, yeah, so I somehow it accidentally got sent to you in text. It wasn't supposed to. Sometimes it's just what happens in the system. Things just happen. I feel like, yeah. All right, so now all of a sudden we have very few airplanes actually tagged up in our space here. It was busy, and then it sort of has died off a little bit. We basically got this little caravan proceeding southbound here. Got these guys proceeding east into Montreal Center. So far it's looking pretty good. We got quite a lot of airplanes, but it got a little hectic there for a little while. It seems to have kind of calmed down a little bit, but there's quite a few departures still out of Toronto, and there's still lots of inbounds as well. Although almost nothing inbound from the west. Everything is inbound from the east. So from Boston, from Montreal, coming from like New York, I think by the looks of it, and maybe Charlotte or Washington. I can't tell where some of these planes are coming from, but anyways. Tons of inbound, so it's going to be busy for now for still another couple of hours. So we're going to be here for another 2 hours here until this traffic dies down. Kind of got past that little spurt of busyness there, but it was quite busy for at least a short period of time there. Seems like everything's sort of coming together now. Alright. Easier sometimes to zoom in to see what's happening here. Sure, I'm getting these guys the right places here. There's so many controllers online in range. Yeah, no, that's the right one. Pacific 6691, contact Montreal Center now, 128.77. Good night.
Contact Montreal Center 128.77. Pacific 6691, good night.
Toronto Center, United 7708, climbing through 11,000 for 15.
United 7708, Toronto Center, good evening. Continue climb, flight level 230.
Continue climb up to 230, United 7708.
Philly's kind of a long way to go in a caravan. It's going to take him a good 2 hours to get there. Who's working Montreal there? Because they're being polite. But I don't know who it is. Why can't I even find him in the list now? There he is. Anthony. Oh, Anthony. All right. Pull up some weather for London because this Delta eventually is going to need some weather for London for his descent. An altimeter setting in London. Got nice and busy though. I do like working center. It's at the end of the day, probably my favorite position is arrival when it's busy, though. I think it's one of the most demanding positions. I really do. But I do like working center. It's nice to have a big chunk of airspace and be able to see airplanes and actually have them in your airspace for quite a while. But I think my favorite is, at the end of the day, still always been and probably always will be arrival, followed possibly by either ground or apron. Those are also two very interesting positions where there's a lot of stuff that sort of happens in ways that it's not necessarily quote unquote normal. Okay, all arrivals are now 2447. I kind of don't have any right now anyways, and I'm just checking on something here for the Windsor arrival. Let's see here. So let's just make sure his route is good. Haven't seen too many. Yeah, no, he's got the right arrival, and then access at 10,000, which he should have on his route, except it's not on there anymore. So I guess it's pick up at 10,000. So he's going to need to start descent. Yeah, right over here and just past Kitchener. Alright, Unit 7708 seems to be automatically doing the right thing. So Euroscope is supposed to automatically offer up the correct airplanes for the correct controllers for handoffs. It doesn't always work correctly, especially during events when maybe there's an unusual selection of controllers online, a non-standard selection of controllers, but let's make sure we've got the correct one here, which is this one. There we go. And yeah. It's been a while since the last Boston departure, so I don't think we need to worry too much. All right, so
hello, Air Canada 554 at 16,000, climbing to 230.
Air Canada 554, Toronto, climbing 230. Good evening. United 7708, contact Cleveland Center now, 134.9er. Good night.
Cleveland Center 134.9er, United 7708.
Air Canada 1013, contact Montreal Center now on 128.77. They'll have that for you.
Hello, Montreal Center 128.775, and thanks for your service again. Have a great night. Take care.
No problem. We'll see you again soon. All right. 83 Papa should be going to 04. He's got that in there, so perfect. Air Canada 554 should also be going to 04. Oops. November 680 Sierra Papa, contact Cleveland Center now, 134.9er. Good night.
134.9er, 680 Sierra Papa, good night.
Happening up north. Nothing. This one Alnapon keeps on tracking, but everything in this fire, especially with this event, is all south focused. Montreal and Cleveland are the two places where everyone's coming and going from here. So Air Canada 554, contact Cleveland Center 134.9er. Good night.
Over to Cleveland 134.9er, Air Canada 554.
Alright, so now we just got two airplanes left, the Delta and the Alnapon, but we got some departures, I think, coming out of here. Maybe not. There are a few departures left on the ground in Toronto still coming out, and there's plenty of arrivals, so it's still going to be busy for a couple of hours, but especially with a lot of these events, Toronto Centre is one of those ones that doesn't get a whole lot of traffic because so many of the events, oftentimes between Toronto and then points southeast, Boston and New York and those kind of places, it's a very short stint they actually spend with Toronto Centre. It's actually almost a little bit boring sometimes to work this particular area. Depends on where things are coming from. Now, from the west and and going to the west, it's a little bit more space. So you're talking to people for a little bit longer, and going out east to Montreal. But it's the southeast corridor here, the south-southeast corridor, where everybody's going into the U.S. Very, very short time with Toronto Centre here. We don't even climb them any higher than the terminal was climbing them. We just simply continue to monitor them on course, and Cleveland gives them clearance higher. Really, Washington is actually going to switch to Euroscope. That's interesting. Oh, yeah, thank you. My info bar. See, I was so concerned about the switch and trying to handle it that I did not. There we go. That should change in a second now. There it is. I was so concerned with actually trying to get that because there was a good, like, almost a dozen airplanes, I think, on the Toronto Centre frequency when we changed. Now there's not nearly so many, but there were. Now I'm feeling a little bit ready for a little bit of a snack attack here at some point. Kind of had a really quiet period here for a minute, so I might go and grab myself a little snack. It's kind of quiet right now, but there are a few departures lining up, and we're also going to have to start this Delta down in about 4 or 5 minutes here. So yeah, I'll be right back. Just going to grab myself a little something to eat. Alright, makes me feel a little bit better now. Don't want to become a hangry controller. There we go. That's why. I forgot that I turned that to all because I was trying to see what was going on when I was tower. But it's a little bit too much when you're working the center and there's too many airplanes around. Well, that really kind of got a little quiet there, didn't it? It's a big wave of departures. But no one airport is completely overwhelmed, although Boston, as always, is the perennial favorite, and they seem to be absolutely just ruling this event. If anybody won the event, it's Boston. They have 45 departures and 45 arrivals currently. They're the only ones, I think, that have implemented a ground stop to airplanes inbound to Boston because there's just so many airplanes coming into Boston. Toronto's not too bad. 28 departures, 10 arrivals still inbound. Montreal looks like it's kind of quieting down a little bit, and Halifax has actually still got a couple of arrivals in there, so Moncton's not doing too bad actually right now. Tim Murphy's still online. I looked earlier and he was online. He's been online for 9 hours now. Oh, Lord. Delta 4134, when ready, descend 10,000. The London altimeter is 3021. Cross pickup at 10,000.
Cool, descend to cross pickup at 10,000, altimeter 3012, Delta 4134.
Roger. For some reason, it's not cycling his flight plan. Why is it not cycling his flight plan? I'm going to just try and give him a directed Durlo here and see if that there. Now it's calculating it correctly here. There's my handoff from Montreal Center. And then Air Canada 826 here from Toronto. He's inbound to Toronto. He's outbound to TCA, but yeah, I like these events where it's random traffic going in many different directions at the same time. It's much more fun than when it's just one solid line of traffic, because then there's really kind of a challenge. It's not quite as dense, the traffic, but it's more of a challenge to just sort of get everyone moving in the right direction.
Toronto Center, Air Canada 826 is at flight level 157.
Air Canada 826, I check you're climbing through 15,700. Continue climb, flight level 230.
Continue climb to flight level 230, Air Canada 826.
Air Canada 826, thanks. And just next time, pay attention to the altitude. You were given an altitude of only 15,000 before.
Contact the departure, I think he said feel free to climb. I called in Air Canada 260.
Air Canada 826, roger. And other call for Toronto, say again?
American 9 is with you climbing through 13,000 for flight level 230, inbound Rickham.
American 9er, Toronto, good evening. Continue climb, flight level 230.
Continue climb, flight level 230, American 9er.
Toronto Center, good evening. WestJet 306, leveling off at flight level 340, inbound Forney.
WestJet 306, Toronto Center, flight level 340, good evening.
Good evening, and sorry, say again the flight.
WestJet 306, I just said flight level 340 and good evening.
Roger, good evening.
At 10,000 should be fine, and then I'll get him down to 7,000.
Toronto Center, good evening. It's Walker 577 with you, flight level 320.
Walker 577, Toronto Center, flight level 320, good evening.
Thank you.
How's it going? How's it going?
Great, buddy. How are you?
Another busy evening. All right. So yeah, Cleveland was just asking what altitude to hand off someone arriving at Buttonville. So there we go. Why is it? Oh, okay, that's why, because it's that guy's continuing.
Walker 577 can come away from what I'm at.
Walker 577, that's approved. Let me know when you're back.
Cheers.
Alright, so he's away. Let's get these guys ready for their handoff to Cleveland, and Air Canada 826 also to Cleveland. And again, put a 2-minute lead on there. He's not quite there yet, but he's close. And Delta 4134 is also going to go to 04. Yep, that's already all chucked in there. Perfect. All these guys are set up. It's just a matter of triggering the handoff when the time comes. But that's probably the biggest thing, and that's what I teach people about the working center is being planned ahead. Don't let yourself fall behind. American 9er, contact Cleveland Center now, 134.9er. Good night.
Cleveland Center 134.9er. Good night, American 9er. Thank you.
It really pays to plan ahead because it does get busy. So, you know, center has times when it's slow and there's not much going on, and then it'll get busy. And if you're not ready with things like descents, different frequencies, approach information for uncontrolled airports, if you don't prepare when you're not busy, then you're going to get overwhelmed when you are busy. So I always tell people to be prepared ahead of time. Work on making sure you know everything that's going to happen in the next little while. I wonder why Washington D.C. switched into Euroscope, because that I don't think anybody else in VAT USA is using it. And I guess you could use Euroscope, but I know that like VRAM, V-Stars were all designed specifically to look exactly like the US ATC system. So I wonder why they're getting away from it unless there's some other features of Euroscope. There's one nice feature Euroscope does have that's starting to become...
Delta 8936, this is 37,000.
Wow. And Delta, what was the flight number?
8936.
Delta 8936, Toronto Centre, good evening. Squawk code 0570. Aircat 826, contact Cleveland Center 134.9er, good night.
Contact Center 134.9er, Air Canada 26, bye-bye.
Good night.
Toronto Center, Walker 577.
Walker 577, thank you. Alright, so here's my Minneapolis guy. Get him to squawk his new code. Doesn't seem to be changing. Oh, there it is. Delta 8936 Toronto, thank you. Identified flight level 370, welcome.
370, 8936.
Air Sprint, that's who the citation was. Got it. WestJet 306 Toronto. The information in Toronto is, let's see here. It's uniform now, and you can plan arrival on 06 right.
Okay, we picked up uniform and we'll plan for 06 right for WestJet 306 then.
Don't say that too often. Walker 577, same for you. Information is uniform, plan 06 right.
Okay, we'll grab uniform and we'll plan 06 right. Thanks, sir.
So I can find my Toronto arrival because there's only one arrival. And it's not the normal arrival, so the auto detection is not working well for it. And I lost him in my list here. Here he is. There it is. Oh, we got another departure out of Toronto there. Kind of got a little quiet here. But it comes in waves now. That's the way it often happens during these events. It comes in waves. It's a little bit busy when a whole bunch of stuff happens, and it's quiet for a while.
Toronto Center, Sprint 42, 17,000, descending 10,000, Ashburger. And Center, if that was you, unreadable.
Air Sprint 42, sorry about that. Let's see, the closest weather I've got to Buttonville now I think is Pearson. So altimeter in Pearson is 3021, the wind's 270 at 3. Continue descent 7,000 for now.
Okay, continue down to 7,000, Air Sprint 42.
Alright, let's see here. Boston via the J-Fund, 20 miles in trail.
And Center Air Sprint 42 with request.
Air Sprint 42, go ahead.
Yeah, Center Air Sprint 42, I'd like to request the RNAV 33 at Buttonville via any of the waypoints, whatever works for you.
Air Sprint 42, I have your request. Stand by. We'll coordinate with the terminal there.
Right.
Been a while since I've actually done this. I used to know the arrivals into Buttonville like the back of my hand too, but another one that I have, my knowledge has fallen by the wayside over the years. Let's see, departure from center. Nope. He's the one that's muted, huh? I also poked him. Departure from center. Inbound to Buttonville, Air Sprint 42 citation. He's looking for the RNAV 33. Do you want... Okay, perfect, will do. Air Sprint 42, proceed direct MEVTO. You can plan the RNAV 33 from there.
Okay, direct MEVTO, Air Sprint 42.
Alright, Cleveland 77, request to meet a track. What? Delta 202. Who is this Delta 202? Or is that old? No, that's right now. If in doubt, find it. I think that is an error. Okay, so that was a mistake.
Tower Center, very good evening. Tower 83416 confirm number 23 direct.
Jazz 834 Toronto Center, good evening. Continue climb flight level 310. Proceed direct Miglo.
Continue climb flight level 310 direct Miglo, Jazz 834.
Alnapon 109 Toronto Center, how do you read?
Alnapon 109, 5
Perfect, thank you. Sorry about that. Some of the north transmitters were not turned on properly.
No worries, thanks.
Toronto Center, Walker 577 has uniform.
Walker 577, thank you. WestJet 306 Toronto, when ready, descend flight level 240.
Okay, when ready, down to flight level 240 for WestJet 306.
Delta 4134, contact Cleveland Center now, 134.9er, good night.
Order 134.9er for Delta 4134. Have a great night. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Walker 577, when ready, descend flight level 240.
When ready, down to flight level 240, Walker 577.
Air Sprint 42, contact Toronto Terminal now, 128.8, good day.
Over to Terminal, Air Sprint 42 minutes.
Got a CRJ going out there. Good old CRJ.
306 leaving 340 for 240.
Oh, watch it, 306, Reg. Delta 8936, proceed direct MEDAV.
Direct to VDAV 8936.
Delta 8936, it's MEDAV, Mike Echo Delta Alpha Victor.
MEDAV, my apologies, 8936.
No problem. As long as we're all on the same page, that's what matters in the end. It's all that matters in the end. Ha, Jazz 834, that is you. I didn't even know that, sorry. Nuclear jet. So is that the new Aerosoft CRJ you're flying? Because we just did that one this morning. Just did that one in the Twitch stream this morning, and I'll post that tomorrow probably on YouTube. Tomorrow or latest it'll post on Monday on YouTube. But we did the stream. We did a flight for the SkyWest from Chicago out to Sioux Falls, so we are really flying the regional flights now. Not even Toronto, Montreal. It is down to the little places in America now. But that's okay. You know what? I think it's going to be fun. We're going to see a lot of places we're not used to seeing, and that's always fun. WestJet 306, continue descent 12,000, the Toronto altimeter 3021.
Okay, down to 12,000 and altimeter 3021 for WestJet 306.
Put a little 10-mile ring around him to make sure he's not catching up to the guy in front of him, but he's got lots of space there, actually. Oh, it's the P3D version, okay. Because I was going to say the CRJ 900 doesn't yet really exist unless you're in the beta test group in the Microsoft Flight Sim CRJ. But yeah, I do have to say I like the plane. I've gotten pretty good at it, and like I said, I like it for the most part. I think it's a good airplane. Now, who is this guy squawking 3126 here? Why is it not correlated to anything? Oh, that's who it is. Okay, so it didn't correlate properly. That's why I never saw this handoff. Okay, so correlate that, and then... That's why we never saw this Delta 202. It was not showing up correctly on the system. Aldepan hasn't quite left our space yet, but he's getting close.
Center, good evening, Delta 202 for level 390.
Delta 202, Toronto Center, 390, good evening. At Delta 202, let's make this easy on you. Proceed direct Miglo.
Direct to Miglo, thank you for the shortcut, Delta 202.
No problem. That's what I'm here for. Make life easy for everybody. Why go the long way when you can go the shortest way possible, right? They had a service pack out for P3D today, really interesting. I wonder if that has anything to do with the fact that they also had, because they also had this week the update for the MSFS version. 1.0.3, I think, is now the version they're on. They fixed a lot of the problems they had with the CRJ. They fixed things like the glide slope intercepts, or not the glide slope intercepts, but like the glide slope errors happening later on in the approach. What else did they fix? They fixed a whole ton of stuff. Some flap animations that were not correct. They actually made the flap axis work properly now. So before you couldn't use like your one of your throttle axes as a flap control, but they fixed that, so now you can use that properly. Full flap axis is now the full 45 degrees, so they fixed that. Fixed a lot of stuff in that update, so it seems like getting better. Supposedly fixed the wandering tendency on some of the LNAV tracks. I haven't seen it yet, but that being said, I've only done one flight. I did one flight today for about an hour and a half, and it seemed to work pretty well. I didn't see any wandering, but like I said, I don't know if that's I don't know if that's going to be, like a permanent thing, or if that's just coincidence today. You can't really judge an update by one flight alone, unfortunately. So we gotta I gotta have a few more flights before I can say for sure that these things are fixed. But it's moving in the right direction, that's for sure. Alright, so it looks like our rifle controller may have stepped away for a couple of minutes here. Just getting the handoff there. There goes the citation down into Buttonville. He should be lower than 2700 unless he missed the approach, because he's almost right off at the field. Is he doing a 2700 still? He's in a missed approach, I guess. And a missed approach. Fun times. It's fun to watch other people's airplanes too. See what's happening to other people. A bit of a voyeur like that. Greaser. Nice. Well done, Lucas. Better than my approach today, no doubt. That was a little bit rough today during that stream. It was good until I got really distracted when it stopped being able to hold altitude for some reason during that one turn, and then flying that airplane, single pilot, hand flying, is a hell of a lot of work with the CRJ. Without the auto throttle, you really are focused on it. So I find it's a yeah, the whole thing was really rough. I was expecting it to be kind of rough today, though, because I've only flown it a handful of times lately. I flew it a bunch when it first came out, then I've been busy with a whole bunch of VATSIM related stuff for the last little while. I haven't been flying nearly as much as I like to. So yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I've been a little bit behind. I've been just a little bit behind the 8 ball in terms of flying. So yeah, it was definitely a little bit rougher than I would have liked today. But I think a little bit of practice, hopefully, we get a couple of weeks into this session. Hopefully, this season it should be a lot better. It's a relatively short season too. That was the other thing I noticed too. Was there's only about 8 to 10. I think there's about 10 legs on it. So it's all turns. There's nothing particularly unusual about it. There was some interesting stuff being generated, but it kept on hitting up airports that I'm not ready to go to yet. A lot of little. It's not so much the little airports, but it's like the major hub airports in Microsoft Flight Simulator that are not yet, that don't have any scenery for them yet. Those are the ones that really I really want to see some good scenery. So like Detroit, even Nashville. Nashville's not necessarily a hub, but it's a pretty busy airport. There's a lot of flights for SkyWest does to Nashville. Constantly seeing Nashville flights in there. So Detroit's one, Minneapolis is one that also came up a lot. Detroit, Minneapolis, Nashville were 3 that came up a lot as I was trying to generate schedules, and they don't have good scenery yet. And I really don't want to visit like the bigger airports. Like I'm okay with like a small little airport, having big scenery in a small airport, or default scenery in a smaller airport. WestJet 306, contact Toronto arrival now, 132.8. Good night.
Okay, over to arrivals at 132.8, WestJet 306. Thanks for the service.
Good night. And Walker 577, sorry about that. Continue your descent, 12-1-2000. The Toronto altimeter is 3021.
Channel 12000 for Walker 577, no problem.
My bad, got distracted there, chatting away. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting season because it's not big major airports that we're used to seeing. It's a lot of little airports, which is fine. But yeah, the ones that I generated a whole bunch of schedules. Detroit came up a lot. Cleveland came up a lot. Nashville came up like ridiculous amounts. Like almost every schedule had Nashville in it. Nashville's not a huge airport, but it's not a small airport. It's not a small little country airport. I really would like to have some decent scenery for Nashville before we go there. So it was a little bit challenging to generate the SkyWest schedule out of Chicago. There were some airports that I didn't want to go to without having some upgraded scenery. Minneapolis is another one that came up quite a few times, and Detroit. And until I see some good airplanes and some good scenery in the simulator for those, I don't want to go to them. I'm okay with kind of the smaller outstations. But anything that's kind of a hub, anything that's a major airport that has more than our CRJ flights normally, I really want some decent scenery. So I really kind of played with it, and it ended up being a lot of very small airports. But I'm okay with that right now. But hopefully we'll get. Almost crashed in Ottawa today. Yeah, tuning the radio and the across the foot. Yeah, we gotta. We got to be careful with the single pilot flying, and yeah, the Aerosoft CRJ. Like I was gonna, my original plan with my streaming series was to kind of hold off streaming Microsoft Flight Simulator until I had a few more pieces of software that made it more worthwhile, namely FS2 Crew, and maybe some GSX as well. But FS2 Crew was the one that really I wanted to see FS2 Crew before I tried to fly, but it's just such a beautiful sim. I couldn't help it. I wanted to start doing it sooner than later. So that's why I kind of went to it, even though it kind of, yeah, it doesn't have great scenery in a lot of places yet, but it's coming fast and furious too. Seems like Europe a little bit faster than North America, but lots of airports coming out in North America. But some of the major hubs are still obviously missing. Boston's a big one that I also think about that I don't believe they have any enhanced scenery for. Toronto, obviously, need to get Toronto. Let's see where else that really should have some good scenery. And yeah, Detroit would be one. Minneapolis is another very busy hub for Delta, especially. Yeah, there's quite a few. Like it's. They need to work on getting some more of this good scenery that we've taken for granted for so long. There's so many good airports out there, but so many of these hub airports, they need good scenery or they're just not worth visiting. Oh, Walker 577, you can contact Toronto arrival now. 132 correction 124.47. Good night.
12447. Thanks, Rob. All the best. Great to see you.
Thanks. Have a good night. And let's just make sure this is going to the right place. No, Jazz 834. That's the one. And Jazz 834, you can contact Montreal Center now on 128.77. Good night.
Montreal Center 128.77. Good night, Jazz 834.
Alnapon 109er Heavy. Winnipeg Center is not online. Your surveillance service terminates, and the en route frequency change is approved. Good night.
Alnapon 109 Heavy. Over data call. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. We're down to these last two airplanes here that are going to cross. Pretty close to Toronto here. Alright, let's see here. This is Air Canada 7222. He's a text only. 194 going to Amsterdam. A 4-digit flight number going to Amsterdam, huh? Okay. Normally Amsterdam is like Air Canada, like 3. I think Air Canada 1 is like Tokyo. I think it's like Air Canada 12 or something. see here, 8936. 77 sounds about right. Looks like Cleveland's getting ready to check out. One of their centers is getting ready to check out here anyways. I can probably clear the halo on that guy as well. Just clear all the halos. It's easy. Done. Hand flying is the fun part. I absolutely will agree with you. I love to hand fly an airplane. But hand flying simulators is not nearly as easy as hand flying the real thing, because you lack a lot of these other senses. You only have vision. You don't have the feel. Alright, so climb play level 3, 70, and direct Lorca for Air Canada 7222. But he's text only, so you won't hear or read any of that because I keep it kind of hidden behind my overlay, because sometimes there's private chat in there and I don't want to necessarily expose that all the time, so. How big is your birthday going to be if you're not going to make it on the weekend? That's hilarious. Anyways, yeah, thank you very much, Lucas, for being here tonight and for being on the stream earlier today. It was a lot of fun. Glad you were able to do it, and I promise we'll try to get some two-leggers in there later. But yeah, this weekend was just a little bit nutty for me. So I appreciate that. But thanks for flying as well tonight. That's a lot of fun to see you. Okay, so he's going, yeah, that's fine. Alright, again, it's got a little bit quiet in here. Got a couple of arrivals inbound. We got 2 arrivals inbound for the Montreal area. We got quite a few airplanes still inbound to Toronto. Let's see here. Still got 11 inbounds to Toronto. And only... yeah. And only 2 of them are actually inside. So we still got 9 airplanes inbound to Toronto that are somewhere out there anyways, slowly making their way this way. I think that's the little VFR guy that was going from Windsor up to Sarnia there. Oh, I lost one. I lost the Delta 89 something that was going down here. Oh, too bad. This is not going to be a conflict, but there's a chance of setting off the TCAS here with this guy still in the climb. Although he's climbing pretty slowly, being an A330, I'm not too worried about it yet, but we'll see where they end up. But yeah, this guy's going to sort of start to overtake this guy in a little bit here. Let's see how long before where are they going to be closest? Oh, actually, they won't even catch up with the present rate until they get way over here, so shouldn't be too much of an issue. We got any departures out of Toronto? No departures out of Toronto. The departures out of Toronto are all done. I think the event is starting to kind of wrap itself up a little bit here. It's starting to. I can't remember if it's supposed to go to 03 or 04 Zulu. We're still going to stay here till 04 Zulu. Working all week and you have to... yeah, fair enough. Well, hopefully you can join us anyways. I mean, it's only one short leg back to Chicago again. I don't know if I'll do 2 legs this weekend. Who knows? I you know, play it by ear, see what the time frame is like. And I'm also watching out as well on the VAT USA calendars for events that involve Chicago. So anytime we're going to potentially get some good ATC in Chicago is the other thing I'm watching out for my streams now. So I may move them around during the week to sort of conform a little bit to any events that might happen in Chicago. I don't think there was anything much happening in June in Chicago, but let's see. Mile High Denver, play ball. Yeah, Omaha will be staffed up later in the month, but we're not going to wait that long. Atlanta, DFW, and Chicago are very special airports with a combined total of 19 runways and plenty of taxiways. Each airport is capable of running triple simultaneous approaches. Come see how many airplanes we can launch. Oh, so that'll be a good one to be around for. So that is, sorry, what day was that? That was June 11th. So I think we may start moving some of our streams to Friday nights just to sort of pick up on some of this traffic here. And it's not trying to ditch anyone, but we're going to have good traffic. We're going to have good ATC the next 2 Friday nights, at least in Chicago. As our hub airport, it'd be nice to have some good ATC there. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But the next 2 Friday nights, there are events that involve Chicago. Well, the first one really is just an open mic. All 21 facilities will be staffed on June 4th. So yeah, so those will be good because we'll get some good ATC, and I really want to get some ATC during my streams, during my flying streams. So now that I feel a little bit more comfortable with the airplane, we'll see what happens. Oh no. I hate that. I've done that. Nuclear jet. I have done that. I have started a pilot's life stream and forgotten to actually make sure a pilot's life started, and I've started to become much more religious about it. I think you've seen in my streams that I double check usually at least once after pushback to make sure the flights did start automatically. And today actually was a good thing because I had forgotten to start up FSU IPC, which of course meant that a pilot's life was not tracking what was happening in the sim at all. So it's a good thing I did double check that. I have done that. I've streamed and forgotten to start that up, and then I had to go back and redo the flight the next day off the stream just to get the credit for it. So very frustrating when that happens. I feel your pain on that. I've had it happen more than once, unfortunately. Who is trying to hand me an airplane here? Aha! Montreal is trying to hand me an airplane here. It's gotten kind of quiet here. It's not like super dead or anything, but it's definitely getting quiet. Got quite a few inbounds, but nothing's really going to make a huge difference to us in the long run. Let's see, these guys are... I'm just going to start checking my VATSPI here to see where my inbounds are. Yeah, that Air Canada 146 is supposed to be
Toronto, hello, Transat 496, climbing 360 in Leaston 7.
Transat 496 Toronto, good evening. Flight level 360, welcome. And I guess the Leafs and Habs are playing tonight. I guess the Leafs and Habs played, and the Habs won 3-2. So there you go. Let's Series is tied 3-3, so tomorrow, no, Monday will be the next game. Game 7. Leafs and Habs. Game 7. Oh, Lord. Good old rivalries in Canada. So here's my question, and I've always wondered this. Why did Montreal get the Habs arrival? Why did Toronto not get a Leafs arrival? Why? Why did they get all these hockey-themed arrivals? They also have like a Lafleur arrival, and they've got all these hockey-themed waypoints, and Toronto got nothing. And I would have even accepted like a Leafs arrival that would have had like Leafs will win Cup never or something like that. Some bunch of fixes, some thing that fixes like something that would read out as a sentence that implied that the Leafs will never win another Cup. Then they have to amend the star if they ever actually win. But how come they got a Habs arrival with all these waypoints on there when it never got Toronto never got a Leafs arrival? It's a bit disappointing, anyways. Glad to see that my stream has also got more solid now. I don't know what was going on earlier, but when I first logged on, it was all over the place. I lost connection like 3 times in like 5 minutes for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, so we got an unknown. That's probably this guy here. Air Canada 416 squawking 1531. There we go. Got him. Alright, arrival is closed now. So arrival's closed, so now we're handling arrivals in Toronto. So the event is starting to wind down a little bit, but you know, even though an event ends, the pilots keep coming usually for at least an hour after the event ends. They never give up easily. Do we still have a departure controller? No, we got no departure, no arrival. So now we got full control of the terminal here as well. So should make sure we have our terminal view ready to go here. We got all sorts of airplanes starting to come our way here. Let's see if I can find this here. Oh, there it was. 5730, that's this guy. Perfect. For some reason, a lot of them are not auto-correlating properly here, but there's Walker 770. Very good. Now it's going to get a little bit more interesting just because we got to control the airplanes almost all the way to the ground. We still got a tower in Toronto, but no.
Toronto Center, good evening. Air Canada 416, passing flight level 190 to flight level 170.
Air Canada 416, Toronto Center. Good evening. Information in Toronto is uniform, I believe. Arrival runway 06 right. I'll have lower for you about 10 miles.
Arrival is 06 right, Air Canada 416.
Should check and make sure that ATC is correct still. Yeah, it is uniform. Okay, good. Just making sure. We actually have quite a few airplanes in here. We've got 5 airplanes, but it just doesn't feel like it because there's no conflicts. There's nothing really happening of a whole lot of interest. But it's going to get interesting now in about 15 minutes or so here when we start to get all these airplanes into the terminal here. It'll start to get more interesting as the arrivals keep coming here. As the event winds down now, we're pretty much, there's only a tower on in Toronto, and then that's it. So it's us and tower.
Center, hello, Walker 770, or dial level 310.
Walker 770, Toronto, good evening. information in Toronto is uniform. Runway 05 for arrival. When ready, descend flight level 240.
05 for arrival, descend when ready, 240, August 770.
Rich. Air Canada 416 Toronto, descend 11,000 when ready, the Toronto altimeter 3021.
Descending 11,000, Air Canada 416.
And Air Canada 416, were you assigned a speed restriction by Cleveland?
Negative, Air Canada 416.
Air Canada 416, Reg. Oh, I lost one. Lost another one there. Okay, now the tower's closing on me as well, so pull up the ground view as well to make sure I'm ready.
Flared. Thanks for the service. Good night. Good night.
So I was about to have one to hand off there. Walker 770, continue descent 7,000, Toronto altimeter 3021.
7,000 and 3021, Walk 770.
Alright, so now tower has gone offline as well, so now it's just us. Just have to look up these NOTAMs here. While we decide which. Delta 1142. Where's this Delta 1142? There he is. Transat 496 Toronto. Information is going to be Victor in a few minutes. Plan runway 05 for arrival.
4 set for 05, Transat 496.
Transat 496, thank you. When ready, descend flight level 240. Okay.
When ready down to 240, Transat 496.
Toronto Center, good evening. Delta 1142 with you at flight level 280.
Delta 1142, flight level 280, welcome. I can't because I'm streaming. That's okay. Okay.
Delta 22 requesting permission to start the descent.
Sorry, who is looking to start down?
Delta 202.
Delta 202, stand by. Delta 202, when ready, descend flight level 290.
Descending to 290, Delta 202, thank you.
Okay, so we got a tower coming back online. That helps a little bit just to take the pressure off. Alright, so who else are we getting handed off here? 3012. There we go. Air Canada 416, descend 8,000.
8,000 for Air Canada 416.
Air Canada 416, proceed direct Darpu, descend 6,000.
Direct to Darpu and descending to 6,000, Air Canada 416.
Start giving him the shortcut here. Walker's on a pretty much almost a straight in here. Delta 202, you're leaving my airspace to the east. Montreal is about to log off, so your surveillance service terminates and change to the en route frequency is approved. Good night.
Going Unicom 1228, Delta 202, thank you very much for ATC, bye-bye.
See ya. Let's see again, landing now. Yeah. Feel free to come back. We're going to be here for 40 more minutes anyways. We're going to be here till 4 Zulu, and then we're going to log off at 4 Zulu. So if you want to come and do a flight before then, please feel free. Still quite a few inbounds into Toronto here. So we're not done for the night yet, though it is starting to fade out. The event is basically officially over. Some of the sectors are starting to shut down now. A lot of the ATC is starting to log off now. So Air Canada 416, descend 4,000.
4,000 for Air Canada 416.
Don't see 6 right very often, that's for sure. 6 left a lot, but not 6 right. Air Canada 416, after Darpu, fly present heading, vectors for 6 right.
After Darpu, flying heading, and vectors 406 right, Air Canada 416.
Roger. Okay, gave him his descent to 240 already. TWA, it's not here yet. TWA 323, Toronto, you here yet? Nope, nobody here yet.
Toronto Center, TWA 323 is with you, flight level 170.
TWA 323, Toronto, good evening. Information in Toronto is Victor, plan runway 06 right.
Alright, we'll expect 06 right, TWA 323.
TWA 3293, thank you. Descend 11,000, the Toronto altimeter 3022.
Route 22, and we're descending to 111,000, TWA 323.
Air Canada 416, turn right heading 330, descend 3000.
Turn right heading 330 and descending to 3000, Air Canada 416.
Air Canada 416, that's correct. Transat 496, continue descent 12,000, the Toronto altimeter 3022.
Check 3022 down to 12,000, Transat 496.
Air Canada 416, turn right heading 030 to intercept, cleared ILS 06 right.
Sorry, can you please repeat for Air Canada 416?
Air Canada 416, turn right heading 030 for intercept, cleared ILS 06 right.
Turn right heading 030 and clear for the ILS 06 right, Air Canada 416.
There goes Montreal Center. Montreal Center's down. Washington Center's down. Indy Center's down. Atlanta Center's down. Cleveland's still going. Boston's still going. Still be a little while here, I think, for those two. Looks like he's got it. Walker 770, proceed direct Alani.
Direct Alani, 770.
TWA 323, proceed direct Darpu, descend 6000.
Alright, descend 6,000 and direct to Darpu, TWA 323.
Roger. Now, it said there was somebody else logged on. Oh, there he is. These white airplanes blend in with these white gate numbers so much you don't even see them. Oh, there's a couple guys logged in here. But you can't really see them. They blend in so well on that scenery there. Air Canada 416, contact the tower passing Savos on 118.7. Good night.
Contacting tower on 118.7 after passing Savos. Air Canada 416, thank you.
Good night. Keep wanting to give this guy a descent, and I gotta remind myself he's through it. He's a through flight to Detroit. I don't need to give him a descent. I just sort of have it in my mind. If he's on these routes, he should be going down, but he's not on the star. He's flying the airway up between the star.
Toronto Tower, good evening. Air Canada 416 on ILS runway 06 right.
Air 416 Toronto Tower, good evening. Winds 330 at 6, call line 06 left. Question 06 right.
Clear to land, runway 06 right, Air Canada 416.
TWA 323, descend 3000.
Descend 3000, TWA 323.
Walker 770, descend 4000. Walker 770, descend 4000.
4000, Walker 770.
TWA 323, after Darpu, fly present heading vectors for the ILS 6 right.
Yeah, we'll fly, we'll keep staying on this course after Darpu vectors for the approach, TWA 323.
Roger. Walker 770, at Alani, you're cleared the ILS runway 05, leave 4000 on the glide slope.
At Alani, cleared ILS approach runway 5, and sorry, can you repeat the glide slope?
Walker 770, maintain 4000 until the glide slope.
4000 until the glide slope, Walker 770.
And TWA 323, turn left 30 degrees.
Alright, turning left to 30 degrees, TWA 323.
Hopefully he's not going left to 30 degrees. I think he understood what I meant. Maybe his read back was not correct, but we'll keep an eye on him here. Make sure he's doing what he's supposed to do. I just need him to widen out a little bit more because he's going to intercept very close to where this guy is also intercepting.
Air 416, welcome to Toronto, exit left on Delta 7 and report clear.
Sorry, can you please repeat for Air Canada 416?
Air 416, exit left on Delta 16, report clear.
These guys are going to be doing the approach right next to each other. Didn't really plan it out that way, but it's just sort of how it's happening here.
On left on Delta 6,
I think
Air
TW is
Canada
going to be very
416.
slightly in front of the Walker here, because Walker's...
Welcome to Delta, CT Terminal 1 via Delta 5, Delta, Alpha Lima, clear across 24 right.
TWA 323, turn right heading 030 to intercept, clear the ILS, 06 right.
Air 416, taxi to Terminal 1 via Delta 5, Delta, Alpha Lima, 828.
Alright, I probably don't need to listen to tower, I was just kind of doing it for fun as much as anything, but...
Taxiing via Delta 5, Delta, Alpha, and Alpha.
If it starts distracting me from what I'm supposed to be doing here, then it's not very good, so... Hopefully I timed that turn just right there. Still going pretty fast. He's trucking around. He's got to be doing a good 220 knots still. Hopefully he doesn't go through the localizer too far here. He's going to go through it a bit. Three airplanes on the ground getting ready to depart already here. It's getting busy again in Toronto. TWA 323, just confirm you've got the localizer captured for 6 right?
Yep, looks like we're picking up the localizer now, TWA 323.
Perfect, thank you. Got very close to crossing that red line. If you cross that red line, then I have to break the other guy off, and it becomes a whole big nightmare. 4 people getting ready to depart. Wow. Toronto never fails to pack them in. Day and night, I tell ya. TWA 323, you can contact the tower 118.7, passing Savos. Good night.
Alright, switching over to Toronto Tower, thanks for the ATC, TWA 323.
Good night. Walker 770, you can contact the tower 118.7 when you pass Kerpu.
8.7, once we pass Dupla, that was 70.
Good enough for me. It's supposed to be curving, but I don't. It's working out just fine, so I really don't need it that badly. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Lined up 4 departures in like 10 minutes here out of Toronto. I thought the evening was wearing out pretty quick, but looks like we still got some stuff going on. Still got about 5 or 6 airplanes inbound to Toronto. I don't know when they're going to arrive here. Looks like after the couple that are here right now, there's nothing much else until after 4 Zulu. One guy from Chicago is going to be here right around 4 Zulu. Might stay on just to get him down, but then that's going to be about the end of it, I'm afraid. There's a couple other guys that are getting ready. I mean, this guy's leaving Buenos Aires. We're obviously not waiting for him. If this guy's leaving Frankfurt, we're not waiting for him. A couple others from Montreal, Chicago, Boston. Unfortunately, it's just taking too long. And we are going to probably log off around 04 Zulu. Not a given, but somewhere in that neighborhood anyways.
Toronto, Delta 1142, is it possible that we get vectors to the approach? Our waypoints are not working on our FMS here.
Delta 1142, you'll have to make that request with Cleveland. Are you able to continue for the next couple of legs, or are you has your navigation already kind of failed?
My next waypoint is Ilusi and then Bopta, and I would like vectors after Bopta.
Alright, Delta 1142, just continue the present heading after Bopta. That'll take you right where you need to be, and Cleveland should take care of you when you get a little closer in.
Okay, roger that. Thank you, Delta 1142.
Transat 496, proceed direct CLAP to send 8,000.
Send to 8,000 direct to CLAP, Transat 496.
Roger. Okay, so he's got to go to Goose, which is going to be... Doesn't recognize the Top Gun 2 arrival. Is it not the right Top Gun? Maybe it's not the right Top Gun. It's supposed to be the Top Gun 2. Okay, that's fine. We'll give him a vector down in that direction anyways when he gets a little closer in. Anything happening here on the ground? Just the arrivals. Nobody departing yet. Nope. Lots of people filed. Looks like only one airplane's even been cleared to push, so not much happening right now, unfortunately. Even with control of almost the entire Toronto FIR, there's just not much happening. This is the thing, is there's not a whole lot of crossing traffic that doesn't usually involve Toronto. It's such a... Canada is so just sort of focused on the US in terms of flying. It really is kind of almost funny to see sometimes. Everything is so focused on transborder, and then you get the east-west, but because Toronto's the hub of the whole country pretty much, very little overflight traffic that doesn't stop in Toronto east to west. It's all stopping in Toronto, and then people connect to other flights past Toronto. So it really is, you know, I see some other sectors and smaller sectors that are much busier, especially in the US, that just have so much traffic going back and forth, and we just never see that much in Canada. It's a bit of a shame. Okay, but Transat's slowly getting there. Time he gets turned around, I think he's going to be the last arrival we handle. There's one more, like I said, there's a Jazz that's coming in. He's just going to make it in time. That'll be about it. And it's one of these airplanes that's just over, it's probably this guy here, I think. Let's see if we can find it here. Yeah, that's him. Squawk 5720, Jazz 7608. Transat 496 descend 6000.
Down to 6,000 now, Transat 496.
Oh, we got one departure taxiing out there. Or was that the arrival? No, that was the arrival, wasn't it? Yeah, that was the arrival. Never mind, sorry. I thought it was departure taxiing out, but no, that was the arrival. These are all the arrivals taxiing in. The whole wave of arrivals that we had, the whole wave of 3. And that's it. Transat 496 descend 4000.
Down to 4,000 now, Transat 496.
Delta 1142, vectors for Detroit, turn left heading 230.
Left 230 for Delta 1142.
Why is he squawking my den? He's got nicely slowed down. Transat 496, turn left heading 150, descend 3000.
Left turn 150, descend 3000, Transat 496.
Did I step on somebody else there? Delta 595 Toronto, you here?
Toronto, sir, Delta 595 is with you at 400.
Delta 595 Toronto, good evening. Squawk code. Oh, can't seem to get you on here. Stand by. Delta 595, squawk code 0562.
0562, Delta 595, okay.
Transat 496, turn left heading 090 to intercept. Cleared the ILS 05.
090, heading for the intercept, cleared ILS 05, Transat 496.
Delta 595 Toronto, thank you. Identified flight level 400, welcome.
Evening Toronto Center, Jazz 7608 with you, flight level 350. I'm descending to flight level 310 by Nook.
Jazz 7608 Toronto Center, good evening. Information is uniform in Toronto and plan on runway 05.
I've got information uniform, planning on runway 05, Jazz 7608.
Transat 496, contact Toronto Tower now, 118.7. Good night.
118.7, Transat 496, we'll see ya.
See ya. Oh, looks like we got a departure. Back again, are we? Oh, Lord. Now it's starting to get a little busier here.
again, Jazz 834, 3200, climbing 5000.
Jazz 834, Toronto identified, continue climb flight level 230.
Continue climb level 230, Jazz 834.
Jazz 834, proceed direct Miglo on course.
Direct Miglo on course, thanks a lot, Jazz 834.
No problem. Looks like we got an airplane on the ground at the island too, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. Jazz 7608 Toronto, when ready, descend flight level 240.
When ready, down to flight level 240, Jazz 7608.
Delta 1142, descend flight level 260.
Descend 260, Delta 1142.
Gonna send this guy to Cleveland Center manually. See what happens here. Jazz is off to Montreal directly. We have to pull up the map for the island here. See if this guy's taxiing out at all. Technically, you could taxi out and depart because it is uncontrolled this time of night. I don't know if he's going to accept the handoff just because Cleveland is supposedly going offline soon. Waiting to see if Cleveland takes this guy. I don't think he's going to take him. Delta 1142, turn right heading 270.
Right to 270 for Delta 1142.
Air Canada 120 requesting clearance for the IFR to Detroit.
Air Canada 120, Toronto, contact Tower 118.7. He will help you out.
118.7, thanks.
Delta 1142, unfortunately Cleveland's going to be shutting down now, so sadly you're going to be on your own to get to Detroit from there. Your surveillance service terminates at this time, and you can change to the en route. Good day.
Okay, thank you. We'll change to the frequency en route. Delta 1142, thank you very much.
Good night.
Toronto Center, Air Canada Express 8606, mic check.
Air Canada 8606, read you 5x5.
5x5, Air Canada Express 8606.
There is no Air Canada Express call sign. Just like to point that out. It's supposed to be Jazz.
Toronto Center, good evening. Air Canada Express 8606 is at Sudbury Airport, ramp 85, requesting IFR clearance to Pearson.
And Jazz 8606 Toronto, I don't see a flight plan for you. If you can hit refile and call me back.
Wilco, Jazz 8606.
Jazz 7608, continue descent 7000, Toronto altimeter 3022.
Down to 7,000, Jazz 7608.
Gonna be off pretty much at the top of the hour. Got two guys on the ground in the city. Unfortunately, we're coming down to the end of our shift here. And I do have to go and get up and get stuff done tomorrow, so...
Toronto Center, let's try this again. Good evening. Jazz 8606 is at Sudbury Airport, ramp 85, requesting IFR clearance to Pearson.
Jazz 8606, there you are. I didn't see your flight plan there for a second, but now I see it. Let's see here. Jazz 8606. The Sudbury winds are showing 100 at 5, altimeter 3025. What runway are you looking for departure, and how long before you're ready?
Stand by, Toronto Center, Air Canada 8606. I'll take a look at the charts here.
Roger. Jazz 834, my apologies. Continue climb flight level 310.
Make flight level 310, Jazz 834.
Toronto Center, Foxtrot Lima Whiskey Romeo, destination climbing 4,800 for 5,000 on the Aikland number 2.
Foxtrot Lima Whiskey Romeo Toronto, good evening, identified. Continue climb, flight level 230, turn left direct, Tony on course.
Climb flight level 230, left direct, Tony on course. Foxtrot Lima Whiskey Romeo.
Over speed horn. Let's see here. Get him direct to...
Toronto Center, Air Canada 8, or Jazz 8606. You said winds were coming from 185, correct?
Sudbury winds are showing 100 at 5, 100 at 5.
Thank you, Toronto Center, Air Canada 8606. We're looking at coming from 100 at 5. What are you thinking about runway 30 for our CRJ 700?
Jazz 8606, it's your choice. It's an uncontrolled airport. You're cleared to Toronto via the Sudbury 2 departure, radar vectors to Ercom, and then the Boxham 5 arrival. Departure runway 30, squawk code 0547.
Toronto Center, runway at discretion of pilot on the Sudbury 2 departure, vectors to Aram. We'll be on the Foxham arrival, squawking 0547, Air Canada 8606.
And Jazz 8606, very close, it's the Boxham 5 arrival, so Bravo, Oscar, X-ray uniform, Mike.
Correction, we'll be arriving on the Boxham arrival, Air Canada 8606.
Jazz 806. Jazz 8606, your readback is correct information. Or sorry, you can switch back to Unicom 122.8 for departure. Give me a call. Actually, yeah, you can switch back to Unicom 122.8 for departure. I'll be closing down in a couple minutes, so you can stay on Unicom after departure.
We'll remain on Unicom after departure. We'll advise when airborne regardless. Jazz 8606.
Roger. Foxtrot Lima Whiskey Romeo. Climb flight level 360.
Climb flight level 360. Thank you, Foxtrot Lima Whiskey Romeo.
Jazz 7608, proceed direct Dulpa.
Direct Delpa 7608.
Direct Dulpa for you. Yeah, you made it. You're going to finish the schedule. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. You want to... Especially when you've done it once. I usually never have the heart. If I've forgotten to start the tracker, I never have the heart to do the flight a second time in the same day. I just, at that point, I throw up my head. I throw up my hands and I just say, you know what? I'm going to go and play a different game. Stop playing Flight Simulator because I get very frustrated when I do forget to start the tracker. I have done it. And, one of the most frustrating things, especially when you've had a nice flight, too. It's not that I don't like flying, but it's just like, I feel like I've done that already. I want to go do something different. I don't want to do the exact same thing twice. Alright. I don't think that Jazz will be off the ground out of Sudbury anytime soon anyways. I'm going to be here for probably about 5 more minutes just because I want to get this Jazz established on final. Once he's established on final, then we're going to get out. But we outlasted a lot of the ATC. We outlasted Cleveland, Montreal. The only one still online, Boston. Evan Ryder. Darn you. But I can't stay up much later. I've got things to do tonight, or tomorrow, I mean, so... Unfortunately, that's just the way it is.
Toronto Center, Charlie Lima, Oscar 29 at Philly Bishop, requesting IFR to Buffalo as well.
Charlie Lima, Oscar 29er, Toronto Center, good evening. Let's see here. You are cleared to Buffalo via your flight plan, via the Island, what do we have to the Island 1 departure and flight plan route. Departure runway today is 26 and your squawk code is 5763.
We're cleared out of Billy Bishop via the Island 1 departure right here out of 26, and we're squawking 5769, or 63 correction for Charlie Lima Oscar 29.
And Charlie Lima Oscar 29er, it's my mistake. I looked at the wrong line just as you were, just as I was transmitting to you there. Your squawk code's actually supposed to be 0565.
Alright, 0565 in the box for Charlie Lima Oscar 29, thank you.
Charlie Lima Oscar 29er, your readback is all correct. The city winds are showing 2803, the altimeter 3022. How long before you're ready to taxi?
We're ready for taxi. Charlie Lima Oscar 29, we're ready for taxi instructions.
Charlie Lima Oscar 29er, taxi, apron at your discretion. Charlie Delta to hold short of 26. Again, the altimeter 3022.
Alright, apron discretion, Charlie Delta to 26, Charlie Lima Oscar 29, thank you.
Jazz 7608, descend 4000.
Descend 4000, Jazz 7608.
I see that Air Canada 120 taxiing out. You can send him to Unicom when you get him airborne. And I got this Jazz 7608. He's just about to intercept the ILS, like 15 miles, 20 miles back here. Okay. Delta 595 Heavy, Toronto. You've left my airspace to the west. Minneapolis not online. Surveillance service terminates and you change the en route frequency. Have a good night.
Forward Yangon, Delta 595. For ATC.
Thanks. These guys are taxiing out. Are they taxiing out? Jazz 7608, descend 3000 at Dalpa, cleared ILS runway 05.
Descend 3000 at Delta, cleared ILS 05, Jazz 7608.
Thought he said he was ready to taxi. I think he's moving now.
Toronto Center, good evening. Mike Foxtrot, Mike, radio check.
Mike Foxtrot, Mike Toronto, good evening, 5x5.
Thank you very much, 5x5 as well. And Mike Foxtrot, Mike requesting the IFR to Buffalo when you get a chance.
Mike Foxtrot, Mike, oh yeah, there you are. Just popped up in my list there. You're cleared to Buffalo via the Island 1 departure. And radar vectors to Buffalo. Depart runway 26, squawk code 0506.
Alright, Mike Foxtrot, Mike is cleared to the Buffalo Airport. Island 1 departure, radar vectors direct Buffalo, depart runway 26, squawk 0506. Mike Foxtrot.
Mike Foxtrot, Mike, the readback's all correct. Winds 2803, altimeter 3022. How long before you're ready to taxi?
It'll just be about 2 minutes.
Charlie Lima Oscar, correction, Mike Foxtrot, Mike Roger. You can switch to Unicom 122.8 for the departure. We'll be closing in about 2 minutes.
122.8 for the departure. Thanks for your help listening. See you.
Good night.
Toronto Center, Jazz 8606 ready to taxi for runway 30.
Charlie Lima Oscar 29er Toronto, contact, actually Charlie Lima Oscar 29, contact me when you're airborne. Winds are 2803, clear for takeoff 26.
Center Charlie Lima Oscar 29, do you mind if we just hold short for a second? We're not quite ready for takeoff just yet, if you don't mind.
Charlie Lima Oscar, okay, takeoff clearance is cancelled, hold short 26.
Alright, we're holding short for Charlie Lima Oscar 29, thank you.
And Jazz 8606, Sudbury is uncontrolled, broadcast intentions on Unicom and remain on Unicom frequency.
Wilco Air Canada 8606, have a good night.
Good night. Jazz 7608, you can contact the tower now, 118.7, have yourself a good night.
Over the tower, have a good night, Jazz 7608.
Jazz 834, about to leave my airspace to the east. Your surveillance service terminates and change the en route frequency. Have a good night. Foxtrot Lima Whiskey Romeo Toronto. Sudbury winds are showing 100 at 5. The altimeter 3025. I'm logging off now, so your surveillance service terminates. Have a good night. Switch to the en route frequency.
Holding cleared en route frequencies. Thanks for the advisory and have a great night. Foxtrot Lima Whiskey Romeo.
Good night. Jazz 834, leave my airspace to the east. Montreal's not online. Surveillance service terminated. Switch to en route frequency and have a good night.
Good night, Jazz 834.
And Charlie Lima Oscar 29er. Unfortunately, I've got to shut down now, so you can depart at your discretion. Monitor Unicom 122.8. Have yourself a good night. It always happens when you're just getting ready to leave that sort of a whole bunch of planes kind of come online at the same time. But I've been on long enough. As I said, I've got things to do tomorrow, unfortunately. So, guys, you're on your own. But it was fun. Intentional aircraft on Toronto Center. Toronto Center is now closed. If you're still on frequency, switch to Unicom 122.8 and a good night to all. But that is it for me, guys. I'm out of here. Have yourselves a great night. Thank you so much for watching, those of you that did. I hope it was fun. I hope you learned something about ATC. I always hope I teach something as I'm working here. It was definitely a fun evening. It kind of came and went. It was quite busy for a while in the middle there. That's just the way it is on VATSIM. Sometimes it's busy, sometimes it's not, and you just take it when it comes. So in the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good night. Stay healthy, stay safe. Make sure you're on my Discord so that you can see when the next stream